Chapter 8, 8-1. The vocab questions are pretty straightforward. Make sure you have your vocabulary open. Each one of these options can only be used once. 8-4. Again, a vocab question. Make sure you have your vocabulary open. And again, each one of these can only be used once. 8-10. Another section on the pretérito. I know. So here we want to look at it logically and eliminate our options one by one. For example, mis amigos y yo a Chicago el sábado. What will probably work there? We did what to Chicago? We went to Chicago. So mis amigos y yo is the form of nosotros. Nosotros fuimos a Chicago. Francisco y Valeria. So we're already rid of this option, right? So we want to think. So Francisco y Valeria blank a mi apartamento a las 8 de la mañana. So they went to my apartment? No. They did my apartment? No. They brought my apartment? No. They came to my apartment. Francisco y Valeria, that's the ellos form, so vinieron. And go through like that, eliminating one at a time. If you're having problems remembering the preterite exception forms, back on the main page, on the main page of Canvas, there's the preterite cheat sheet. Open that or print that off, even better yet, and away you go. 8.8-5. Another question, exact same thing. Ayer Felipe y Julia fueron de compras al centro comercial. Esta noche tienen una cena formal y they have a formal dinner and they blank wear elegant clothing. They want to try elegant clothing? Maybe. They want to, I would say they want to buy because they're already going to the Centro Comercial, right? So, I need my thing there. Compran esta noche. Hold on here. Sorry, I got momentarily confused there. So tonight, so this is important. So esta noche indicates that this is happening tonight. So we're also talking in the present tense. Not all of these are going to be in the past. So esta noche tienen una cena formal and they something wear elegant clothing. I would probably say deber is going to be your best bets, and this is going to be in the present. So tonight they have a formal dinner and they must wear elegant clothing. En la primera tienda, Julia did something with 2 dresses. It could be comprar, maybe not. I would say probar, right? And we have to remember that this is reflexive. Se probó dos vestidos, etc., etc. So eliminate your options one at a time. This question is difficult because it could be in the present, it could be in the preterite, it could be in the infinitive. Remember, when we have 2 verbs in a row, the first one is conjugated, the second one gets left in the infinitive. Moving down to 8-9, this question looks complicated, but it's actually very straightforward. We're going to follow exactly the model, right? So the first one, blank fila. So which one goes with fila? The verb hacer goes with fila. To stand in line is hacer fila. So we want to ask somebody, our friend, and we know we want to do it in the to form because this is the to form up here. So the to form of hacer is hiciste fila mucho tiempo. And we're going to respond with sí. Yes, I stood in line for a long time, or no hice fila mucho tiempo. And that's it. Now we've eliminated hacer, so keep going down exactly like that. So in this question, which I failed to number, we're going to be looking at the possessive pronouns, which are these, which are in your book on page 233. So esos son sus pantalones, esos pantalones son. So the first thing we're going to look at is which form to use. And the basic forms are mío, tuyo, suyo, nuestro, y suyo. Of course, with masculine, singular, plural, etc. So here we know sus pantalones is going to match up with suyo, But we have to decide, we have to find the noun. The noun is pantalones. Is that masculine or feminine? It's masculine. Is it singular or plural? It's plural. So son suyos. Number 2. Esta es tu camisa. Esta camisa es. So we're going to find the tu. We know your sweater. It's going to go with tuyo. That's going to be what it's going to go with. Now the noun, is it masculine or feminine? Feminine, singular or plural? Singular, so tuya, and so on. The next question, which I also failed to number, is in the form of a conversation. Ese reloj es tuyo? And then the response, yes, this watch, is it yours? Yes, it is mine, right? So we know we're going to go with mío. Then we have to look back to the noun. Reloj, masculine or feminine? Masculine, singular or plural? Singular, so it's going to be mío. Remember that mío has an accent on the I. Very important. Esas gafas de sol son tuyas? Sí, son. Are they yours? Yes, they are mine. We're responding to the question, so again, we're going to have mío. We got to see, is gafas de sol masculine or feminine? Feminine, singular or plural? Plural, mías. And so on. First, it's important with 812 to get a good base in the double object pronouns. If you don't understand them, please watch the video Double Object Pronouns, which is one of my short lessons. So here we know when we have these pronouns, we know that the indirect object will always come first because usually a person, people before things. So if we look up here, what is our indirect object? Who is that to whom in this sentence? We have te. But remember, this is also a conversation. So the question goes, did Alejandro give you these flowers on the table? And you'll respond, yes, he gave them to me, because this is a conversation. So here we're going to select me, and this is going to refer to the flowers because that's the object that's being given. So las, me las regaló. Number 2, ¿y te dio esa tarjeta? Did he give you this card? Yes, he gave it to me. Remember, a conversation. Me la, and so on. If you have problems with this, please review the double object pronouns, but remember, this is a conversation, right? So the responses, your answers should be in conversational form. 814. This is a complicated question that always gets students in hot water, not in hot water, but they can't figure out how to do it. So the base is that Natalia went to Peru and she's got a whole bunch of things that she's going to give out to her friends when she gets back. So, ¿qué va a hacer con los anillos? Our base here is the verb regalar, no? Which means to give. Regalar. So here we need an indirect object and we need a direct object. So that to whom in this sentence is going to be a Sonia y a Elena, which is les. This is our indirect object, right? And our direct object will be los anillos. That's what's being given, which will be los, the direct object. So if we put these together, we know the indirect goes first, les, los, and this has to change to a se los regalar, right? However, we have to follow the model, right? So we have se los va a regalar a Elena y a Sonia. She is going to give them to Elena y Sonia, right? So following the model. So this, the va a regalar, has to go in every single one. You can put these se los at the beginning or at the end. Let's try number 2. ¿Qué va a hacer con la pulsera? A su hermanita, to whom, that's the direct object, which is going to be le. La pulsera is la, so we know it's going to be le, la. This is going to change to a se. We have our base. We have to put our base down. Va a regalar. And we can put the se, la va a regalar right up front. She's going to give it to her, a su hermanita. Alternatively, you could say va a regalar se la, which means the exact same thing, but you have to put an accent over that A if you write it that way. And keep going like that, remembering that your base is va a regalar, and you're figuring out the direct and indirect objects and where to place them around that. 8-15. This is indefinite words and nouns, and I want you to go to 245 in your book, very critical. So what you're going to do here is look for opposites. So for example, Ernesto siempre, always, the opposite of that is nunca. So for number one, Ernesto me da para mi cumpleaños todos los años, pero Carlos no me da, me da algo. So here's our word. We want to look at the opposite. What's the opposite of algo? The opposite is nada, something, nothing. A Ernesto a veces le gusta tocar la guitarra para los amigos, pero a Carlos, what would we put in here? So Ernesto likes to sometimes play the guitar for his friends, but Carlos no le gusta tocar ni o cantar. So no should go in there. Actually, let me double check that. Okay, I'm glad I double checked that. So he sometimes likes to play. What would be the opposite of sometimes? Never, nunca. Le gusta tocar o cantar, etc., etc. So try to look for opposites as much as you can in that question. 8-16. Here you have a few options. Estoy en el centro comercial plaza y es fantástico. Tiene tiendas, restaurantes y... So what would... Each option can only be used once per section. If it has no, it tells you it won't be one of the positive ones, but instead one of the negative ones. So I'm at the mall. It has stores, restaurants, and what would fit here? También, also, right? So that helps us. So we get rid of one option. So a key here would be to look at if you're trying to decide if it's algunos or algunas, whatever word comes after, so lugares, for example, you're going to ask yourself, is that masculine, feminine, singular, plural? And that will decide if it's algunos or algunas. And down here, it's the exact same thing. Luego caminé por el mercado artesanal donde compré, where I bought algunos, some, for my nephew? No. Where I bought some also? No. Algo, right? Where I bought something. And you just keep going on like that. This can be a little bit, this question's kind of a grind, so just keep grinding it out until you get it.